I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, August the 11th, 2015. Israeli police have detained the head of Jewish right-wing extremist group Lehava, Rabbi Bentzi Gopstein. Lehava campaigns, among other things, against interaction between Jews and non-Jews. Gopstein was specifically being questioned for comments he made last week about the arson attack in June at the Church of the Multiplication of the Loaves and Fishes in Israel's north, which supported such incidents. Gopstein claimed that religious law is in favor of the burning of what he called, quote, idolatry. The representatives of the Vatican in Israel condemned Gopstein's remarks, demanding that he be charged with incitement. The Anti-Defamation League said it was outraged and appalled at Gopstein's comments. ADL National Director Jonathan Greenblatt said Rabbi Gopstein's views have no place within the Jewish tradition or in a democratic society. ADL Director of Interfaith Affairs Rabbi David Fox-Sanmel said Gopstein's inflammatory comments are a desecration of God's name. He said in the current climate, rather than seek to build bridges of peace and understanding, Rabbi Gopstein continues to incite not only against Christians and Muslims, but against all, including Jews who do not share his radical and extremist views. Israeli authorities cleared for publication today the arrest of a member of terror group Hamas, who, among other things, worked on building terror tunnels into Israel. 21-year-old Ibrahim Adel Shehadeh was arrested at the beginning of July as he tried to enter Israel through the Erez border crossing from Gaza. During questioning, he revealed a wealth of information regarding Hamas's strategies, including its intention to use the tunnels in order to attack Israelis in the future, and also about funding from Iran to Hamas. An indictment was filed against Shar at the end of last month for being a member of and engaged in activities with a banned organization, attempted murder, contact with an enemy agent, forbidden military training, and several firearms offenses. Israeli President Reuven Rivlin met today with a delegation of Republican members of Congress in Jerusalem. The group was from the American Israel Education Foundation, an affiliate of AIPAC, and was led by House Majority Leader Representative Kevin McCarthy of California. Another congressional delegation organized by the Israel Allies Foundation, led by Representative Trent Franks of Arizona, also is visiting Israel. The Jerusalem Post reports that that group was harassed when they visited the Temple Mount by Muslim men as well as by guards from the Muslim Waqf, and that Israeli police needed to step in to make sure they could proceed without any problems. The group later met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Former Italian lawmaker and journalist Fiamma Nierenstein has been appointed Israel's new ambassador to Italy. Nierenstein served in the Italian parliament as a member of the center-right People of Freedom Party. She is a vocal supporter of Israel and made Aliyah, moving to the country in 2013. Yesterday, Prime Minister Netanyahu appointed her to the ambassadorial post, saying he was confident she would bring her previous political experience to the job and deepen the relationship between Israel and Italy. Netanyahu said the connection between Jerusalem and Rome is over 2,000 years old. I'm happy to send Fiamma Nierenstein to strengthen that connection. The U.S. Department of Justice filed a notice of interest in Manhattan Federal Court yesterday regarding the lawsuit against the PLO and the Palestinian Authority. If you recall, back in February, 10 American families of terror victims won a multi-million-dollar verdict against the PLO and the PA for their support of terror attacks in Israel. The Justice Department said yesterday that the government strongly supports allowing terrorism victims to sue under the country's terrorism law. But Deputy Secretary of State Anthony Blinken also asked U.S. District Judge George Daniels to take into account the PA's financial situation when deciding the amount of bond the PA would need to post in order to appeal the verdict, saying the collapse of the PA would, quote, undermine several decades of U.S. foreign policy and add a new destabilizing factor to the region, compromising national security. The attorney for the families in the lawsuit, Kent Yalowitz, responded that if the PA has, quote, enough money to pay convicted terrorists, it has enough to pay the judgment in this case. The Technion in Haifa was ranked in 8th place in a list of the institutions with the most Nobel Prize winners in the 21st century. Times Higher Education magazine compiled the list. The Technion and Germany's Max Planck Society are the only two non-American institutions in the top 10 on the list, which covers Nobels awarded from 2000 to 2014, not including prizes won for peace or literature. Israel has won 5 Nobels since 2000. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight, Tuesday, August the 11th, at 7 o'clock, reaction from members of Congress to the Iran deal at the 2015 Christians United for Israel Summit. Followed at 8:30, also from the QFI Summit, by IDF Lieutenant Tzur Golden, who talks about how Hamas refuses to return the remains of his twin brother, Hadar Golden, who was killed in action in Gaza. Then at 9 tonight, Mark Golub sits down with Israeli reserve soldiers from a Stand With Us college tour. And at 10, a replay of Sundays Live at 5 from the English language online radio network Voice of Israel. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, In the News with Mark Golub, together with Robert Satloff of the Washington Institute for Near East Policy. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, August the 11th, 2015. I'm Teisha Bader.